Good morning, everyone. Today, we're discussing green companies. Now, green is a term we hear a lot these days. It basically means that a product, service, or building is environmentally friendly. Green companies use mostly sustainable materials and sources of energy that can be renewed or reused. For example, companies now use much less paper than before. And the paper that is used is usually recycled, so fewer trees need to be cut down. So, green companies take a different approach than companies did in the past. For example, in the past, most architects and engineers didn't consider the environment when they designed and constructed their buildings. Office buildings, for example, used enormous amounts of electricity for lighting and power. With advances in technology, it is now easier and less expensive to build more eco-friendly buildings. Companies are going green for 3 important reasons. First, going green is cost-effective. It reduces the amount of energy the business uses. That means it saves money. Second, going green is good for the environment. Green buildings often use solar power to generate electricity and hot water. Location is another consideration. In the past, many offices were located outside cities. This meant that employees had to drive long distances to get to their jobs. Green businesses sometimes recycle existing buildings in downtown areas. Old materials are reused, and people can take public transportation or ride their bicycles to work. Third, going green is good for a business's brand or image. Studies show that people are often prepared to pay a bit more money for a product or service if they know the company is green. People also prefer to work for green companies. Now, last week, I asked you to research some green companies. Did anyone find an interesting green business? Alistair?
Yes. I read that Google hires about 200 goats to eat the grass in the fields around its buildings. Seriously, this is a great idea because lawnmowers cause a lot of air pollution and noise pollution, too.
I read that.
I haven't finished yet, Lori. Google also uses a shuttle bus to transport employees to and from San Francisco, about 1 hour's drive from its offices. About 6,400 employees take the bus every day instead of driving cars.
Great, Alistair. Now, Lori, you wanted to say something?
Yes. I read that Vivendi, a French communications company, is the world's greenest company. More than 630 of its sites are powered by solar energy, and the salaries of its top executives are linked to the environmental performance of the company.
Thanks, Lori. I'm glad you mentioned the salaries of the top executives. This is called an incentive. Incentives encourage people or businesses to act a certain way or do something positive. Governments sometimes offer incentives such as tax breaks. That means green companies can pay less tax to the government. Now, let's look at some other green companies.